Hello everybody, this is your instructor, Jason Chapa, and we're going to do our weekly Hangout. Today, like I said, it says on the description, I said on the email, I'm going to do some practice question and answer mock interview things and explain the answers that I give. Hopefully this will give you all a incentive to kind of just start practicing your interview questions and also start researching how to put together answers. Now, I know most of y'all probably don't have too much experience, and I'll go ahead and be answering the questions from that perspective. Even though y'all may be high school students, there's a lot you can draw from in regards to what would get you qualified for a job. I'll start with some simple questions as well as some simple questions and then go to some more specific ones based on certain types of careers. But overall, as long as you know how to connect your personal experience to what they ask, and if you do your homework and research the job you're going for, you should be able to find ways to connect that high school experience, regardless of what you've done, to the real world responsibilities. And just to elaborate, a lot of employers, if you're going for an entry level or a starting position, they understand that you don't have a lot of experience. They just want to see how you can spin that to be effective in terms of interviewing people. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and give the answers and questions right now, and then hopefully as more people get here, hopefully I can answer some specific questions that y'all might have. But give me just a few moments to get set up, and then I'll go ahead and do the practice interview. So I went ahead and Googled typical high school interview questions, and I found this website. Let me go ahead and share the screen. It's www.everydayinterviewtips.com /15 possible questions for high school student job interviews. And I'll go ahead and answer these one by one. So I'll pretend to interview myself. Let's say I'm going for a job at, I'll pick a thing, Whataburger. So good. I'll go through the 3 stages, which is the opening, the body of the interview, and the closing. Hello, sir. I'm the manager, Mr. C. And can you go ahead and tell me, who are you? Oh, I'm Jason Chapa. I'm here for the server position. Okay, well, thank you, Mr. Chapa. No problem, Mr. C. Let's go ahead and I'm going to ask you a few questions, see if we think you're a good fit, and we'll go ahead and get started if you're okay with that. Everything okay? Yes, everything's fine. Okay, Mr. Chapa, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself? Well, Mr. C, my name's Jason Chapa. I am a soon-to-be graduate from Science Academy of South Texas, the college I went to, and I've really found that I'm trying to get more experience in terms of customer relations. That's something I'm really interested in because I've basically been in school my entire life, and while I have some experience dealing with people outside of the school setting, like, one time I worked with our school's radio station, and part of that was finding events and sponsors, and I did find us a few events that we could get help with. I want to improve my customer service skills, and I'm a very hard worker. I've maintained a pretty good average, about a 3.5 or so, and again, I think of myself as a really reliable person, whether it's getting my chores done or doing my homework, or, like I said, working with the radio station, doing what's required of me. All right, Mr. Chapa, why did you apply for our company, Whataburger? Well, one thing about Whataburger is that I've been a fan of the company ever since I ate here. I don't even know the first time I ate here, but I know that I've always wanted to eat here as much as possible. I really like the food. I've never had bad service here from this Whataburger, and it's something that I think for a first job I'd like to be a part of if y'all will have me. I really appreciate the culture. It seems to be very community oriented, as well as just I've not heard anyone say a bad thing about the place, and hopefully by working there It'll give me experience so that no one ever says a bad thing about me. Now, do you know what we do here at Whataburger? Yes, I do. I know that especially since it's a popular restaurant in Texas and the few states that it's in, uh, that it's usually there's a big rush hour during lunch. Every time I come here during lunch hours, it's always busy, and I know that y'all could always use people to help keep those down. I know that the food, you have a certain quality that you expect of it to be prepared, and I'm hoping to improve my own cooking skills if I can get promoted to the shorter cook. I know that it's all about community and service with a smile, and that's something that I want to be a part of. I want to learn how to become the best employee I can at a fast-paced work environment, which I know Whataburger to be, and I hope to help improve my composure under stressful situations like the lunchtime rush, as well as maybe get experience working graveyards or whenever y'all need me. Do you have any work experience? Well, I don't have any official work experience. What I have done though before is, again, I've worked with my classes, one of my high school's radio station, doing a DJ, as well as helping set up events. I know with my family, I help my dad with his lawn mowing business on the weekends. Usually about every other weekend, every other week or so, we spend the entire afternoon, trying to provide as good service mowing everything as we can. Also, for my church, I have helped with some summer camp, summer Bible study classes, and also done some readings in front of the people. So, I don't have a problem with those types of situations. All right. What are some of your favorite classes? Well, some of my favorite classes are one, the history, because I've always been a fan of history. Always like knowing about, they have that old adage, those who don't know about the past are doomed to repeat it. That's something I take into heart. I also like English because I'm real into, writing. And you don't learn to be a better writer unless you've read a lot. And though it's difficult for me, I do enjoy my math classes because, again, that is something that I'm going to need to know, and I'd like to be as comfortable with it as possible. Finally, I do have a computer science course, which kind of expands upon that math class, and that's something I'm kind of interested in as well. What are your favorite subjects? Well, again, classes subjects. What are some of your career goals? Well, I'd like to eventually become a teacher, though if Whataburger would have me and rewards my hard work, thinks that I'm a good part of it, I wouldn't mind going as high up as I could in Whataburger. I don't see this just as a summer job. I see this as an opportunity to grow as a person and employee. I'd like to get a more permanent career position. If that's something that Whataburger could offer me, that would be great. I would like to help my family with everything around the house, as well as I know that there is Whataburger College in either Corpus or San Antonio. And again, that's learning by doing, learning how to be a manager, learning how to deal with customers, and so on. Do you like your high school? Yes, I do. I think that it offers a productive environment for me, as well as my fellow students, to learn and grow as people. Are you involved in any extracurricular activities? Well, yes. I was like I said, radio station DJ for our school's radio station. I have helped with our masterminds team, not participate, but help them review and so on. And, yeah, I tend to stay, do what I can to help myself get more experience. Over the weekends, like I said, I've helped with my church's youth group and run some Bible study classes. Why are you looking for a job? Well, I'd like to save for college first and foremost. Again, I do have good grades, I believe, especially for the classes I've taken. But at the same time, I know that college is getting more expensive. Another thing I'd like to do is I'd like to help out with the bills around the house. My parents, they work very hard for us, and I'd like to give back a little to them. Are you okay working nights and weekends? Yes, I am. I'm a student, and as long as I can keep up with my studies. I think I don't have a problem working nights and weekends when I'm needed. Again, I can arrange my life to meet the needs. If your teachers were here, what would they say about you? They would say that I'm friendly. I'm always trying to offer to help out other students, or I'm the first one to raise my hand if I know an answer, as well as I'm not afraid to participate. I'm a good team player. Are you planning on going to college after you graduate? Yes, I am. If I can, I'll go to UTRGV, transfer to, or go to STC and then transfer to the college that would accept me. I'd like to save my money and cut the cost for anything that I would need to. And I see that Whataburger is something that, if I stay in Texas, if I have experience working at one Whataburger, I'd like to think that I could go to another one because there's a reason why this company is so successful. It's because they run a tight ship, and it's something that it's very popular all across Texas. And what can I say? Wherever I go to college, if I get this job, I'll want to work at the Whataburger there. Now, if I can still work at this Whataburger and go to college, that would be great too, because this is the one that's going to turn me into the person I want to be. Do you know what you want to study? Not yet. I'm currently exploring my options. Like I said, if the career in Whataburger becomes more feasible, I'd want to study something that would help my advancement in the ranks of Whataburger. How comfortable do you feel talking to customers? I've always been of the impression that if someone, it's part of the employee's job to talk to customers, but in a way that helps them out. So if I see people kind of having a hard time coming up with one, I'll say, okay, well, can I make some suggestions? Okay, or so on. Basically, I have no problem talking to customers. I have no problem talking to people, especially if I'm behind the counter. I know that's my job, and I want to do my job as best as I can. In any other context as well, I'll be sure to, I see them walking around with all the condiments. I for one would love the opportunity to walk around a few times, give out what people need to them, and hopefully hear some thank yous so I can say you're welcome. All right, well, those are the interview questions we have, Mr. Chapa. Do you have any questions for me? Yes, I do. Can you tell me what my first day on the job would be like? Well, your first day, actually your first week, would be kind of shadowing another employee, maybe even a manager. They'll be teaching you the ropes. They'll kind of letting you know what's going on, and you're going to be put where you're needed. If they need someone to clean the bathrooms or to clean the kitchen, you'll be doing that. If they need someone to help serve, you'll be doing that. You're going to go where we need to put you, so that hopefully we can deal with the stresses of one of the most popular hamburger chains in Texas. Do you have any other questions? No, I don't. I think that's fine. All right, well, Mr. Chapa, we'll go ahead, and those are all the questions we have. Thank you very much for applying. If we feel that you are a good candidate for this position, we'll go ahead and let you know. Feel free to contact us if you'd like an update on your performance. All right, thank you very much. You have a nice day. You too. All right. Hopefully that all was clear. Now let me go ahead and see if there's anyone watching. Okay, nobody's watching. That's fine. Let me go ahead and explain the answers that I gave. I'll break them down one by one, so hopefully this helps you all out. One, tell me about yourself. You always want to say things about yourself that would be good for the job. If you're a hard worker, say that you're a hard worker and that you're taking, all of y'all are taking college classes because you're taking my classes, colleges. So you're a hard worker. In addition to taking high school classes, I'm taking some college courses. That proves that you're a hard worker. You're doing more than what's required. So for any of these questions, don't just say you're a certain thing. Say you're a certain thing and then give evidence to back it up. Give examples to back it up. Why do you apply for a company? This is where you do what's called doing your homework. Read about that company that you're applying for. Do whatever you can to find out more about it, and try and identify some positive aspects of the company that you want to rub off on you for working there. Now, do you know what we do here? Same thing. Tell them that you have an idea. This is where, if you talk to people, this is where the personal interview was kind of for. It helps you get prepared for what you're preparing to do for a job. So again, why did you apply? Do you know what we do here? Those are good examples to show what you know about the company show that you did your homework. Do you have any work experience? This is where, again, for high school kids, don't worry if you don't have real job experience. Mention what you've done. Say some responsibilities. If you've babysat, say, how often you babysit other children and who you did that for. Especially if it's like not for family members, though family members would count. That's great. That's showing you're taking responsibility. If you've done things for your church, say what things you did for your church. Be descriptive of it. If you help out your parents' business, that's great too. Anything that you've done that you're getting paid for or that you're doing to help out other people that's not school, that's what your work experience is for now. Think of things that you can do. Think of things that you've done on there and say how that can connect to where you want to work. What are your favorite classes? What are your favorite subjects? This is real important. Never say something is not your favorite subject. Never say something that you don't like anything. You don't want to put any negativity out there, even if you're not great at like math or history, whatever. Say what your favorite subject is and try and connect it to what you're doing. If your favorite subject is English, you like reading, you say, I like reading. I've read a lot of books about, the culture, the company, whatever. You've read about how people have jobs when they're young, and you want to kind of have that experience for your own. Do whatever you can to take what you've learned in school, doing your homework, attach it to the job you're going for. What are your career goals? Never say that you don't want to be working at the place in a few years. Always say, if I'd like to do this, but if this job is something that's can become permanent fixture of my life, then I would definitely like to stay a part of it. Are you involved? Okay, do you like your high school? Again, say why you like your high school. Say how it's preparing you for the quote-unquote real world. Think of some examples of things you've done to get ready for that real job outside of school. Do you have any? Are you involved in any extracurricular activities? This is where you should at least have one or two for your job. That you should think of, if you haven't volunteered for something or if you haven't been a part of a team, try and get a part of at least one or two things. Working in the yearbook, working in the newspaper. If there's a sports team, you see if you're not good at sports, see if you can help with the running of that. See if you can be a manager or whatever. Try and find things you can do outside of school. Volunteer places. If you're on a team, like in a sports team, say that you know how to work with people, because most sports in high schools are team sports, and you have to do more than just play the game. So that shows dedication. Whatever you can do outside of class, stick with it, even if it's something, even if it's a few things, that'll add to your experience and it will really look positive on you. Why are you looking for a job? Again, never say that you just want the money. That's why people take jobs. Say what you're looking to get out of the job. Are you okay to work nights and weekends? Yes, say that you'll work whenever you can for them. Your schooling permits. Don't say no, because again, they'll just hire the person who will work weekends or nights. If your teachers were here, what would they say about you? Ask your teachers, back it up. Ask them what they would say about you. Ask them for some positive words of encouragement that you can kind of refer to. You'll also need references, so maybe ask those teachers you want to be your references if they'd say anything positive about you, and ask them if they could be a reference. Are you planning on going to college after you graduate? Try and connect the job that you're doing to where you want to go to college. Like I said, I want to work at a Whataburger so that if I go to college out of state, I can work at another Whataburger and still stay a part of things. Do you know what you want to study? If you don't know, that's fine, but maybe think of some options and think of how they connect to the job you're going for. Are you comfortable doing X task? As long as the task isn't illegal or unethical or immoral, you should be comfortable doing it. So hopefully those answers helped you out. More people haven't shown up yet. There is about only 11 minutes left. So I'm going to go ahead and stop talking now. Hopefully more people will show up. Hopefully y'all will watch this video. If you have any other questions, feel free to email them or post them to me. The interview, again, the mock interviews are going to be the most important thing. Most important to get them done before April starts, because I want to dedicate the entire month of April to doing speech presentations. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and mute the mic here. Probably going to stop broadcasting unless people show up in about 6 minutes. So yeah, I hope this helped you all. If you have any other questions, feel free to contact me ASAP so we can work things out. But thanks for watching this. Have a nice day. And unless anyone else shows up, I'm going to go ahead and mute it. But you can go ahead and stop the video now. Goodbye.